Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Tuesday, and it is what you need to know time. And my co-host this afternoon, evening, is the one and only my homeboy and all around just good guy is Damon Williams. Welcome back, Damon.
Thank you for having me back, Sybil. Hello to all of the viewers, especially those who were here the last time on election night when I was all over the place. Sybil,
Damon.
like, you was like, "Are you okay there, David?" I'm like, "Yeah."
But Damon was funny because when I asked him about coming on, he goes, this is not for 4 hours like the last time, is it?" I'm like, no, 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 no. No, this is less than an hour that we'll keep you. So thank you for coming back even after last time we kept you strapped to your seat, as it were.
Yeah.
It is Tuesday, November 17th, and it is Founders Day for the Gentlemen of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So we wish you a happy Founders Day, and that includes our former boss, Tom Joyner. And he's out celebrating this evening, by the way, Damon.
Is that right?
Yes, he is out to dinner, and could not break that appointment, his dinner date. So we asked him to come on and just represent for the bros, and no, he said no, he had a dinner date. So okay.
Well, glad he's out hanging out. You know.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
how great is that? We've been talking the last couple of days since we got the word about Sinbad, and Tom Joyner being another person who had a stroke earlier this year, and Sinbad is now in recovery mode. And Charlie Wilson, didn't talk about him earlier. Charlie Wilson also suffered a stroke this year,
Really?
and yeah, and so this is a time of great prayer, but also of rehabilitation. Tom Joyner is definitely on the mend and wants everybody to know that he is very thankful for the well wishes as well as the prayers that have gone up for him in his recovery. And so, and that includes our friend Sinbad and also Charlie Wilson. So,
Yeah.
Damon, had you heard earlier about Sinbad?
Yes, I knew because he had canceled some show dates, and I had got an inquiry about maybe replacing one of his dates, and so that's what I thought it was either COVID, but then I found out it was a stroke. So I knew about maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah, and another comedian had asked me if I had heard anything about it, and then of course it came down yesterday. But so I guess in a very small community, people were thinking that it was COVID related, as you said, and sorry that it is a stroke, but definitely glad that, as his family said, he is in recovery. So we send him all of our love and support, whatever way, because he's been a long time member of the Tom Joyner Morning Show from our earliest days, and I remember Tom going out to California back in the days with a different world and being on the set and doing things with him coming on the show from, like I said, from early days, as well as our being able to go and participate in the Soul Beach Music Festival.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Back in the day, the Jamaica days too, like when they were doing it. I actually,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually went to Sinbad's festival. Ended up came home married after that. That was back in
Wow.
the day. Yeah, it was supposed to be just a weekend trip, kicking it with Sinbad. Before you know it, it was stretched out to 11 days. And Damon's mom and I, yeah, we got married out there. That's Sinbad's joint.
And the rest is history as far as young Damon is concerned. So that's
Absolutely.
a great beginning. That is a great story. We were talking about Sinbad and what he means to those of us on the Joyner Show, but that is also at his. I think it want to say Yolanda was at the first Soul Beach Music Festival in Aruba, that Aruba Tommy was born. That's where that character started. Was at Damon. We did our morning show in the lobby of the hotel, and all of the listeners were just gathered around us. It was nothing staged. There was no. It was just very casual. Us doing the morning show, and folks just pulled up chairs and came and listened. And one of those people was Aruba Tommy, and Jay named him Aruba Tommy. His character came out in full Aruba Tommy ness, and And that's where that character was born.
Full Aruba regalia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, not a wedding dress, but
Right.
he was probably wearing like a little midriff and things like that. It's just and it was early warning, so obviously, so people were coming in from the night before, and but Aruba Tommy just came alive, and he and Jay connected along with Jetta, Miss Dupree, and Myra J. And I want to say George was there as a part of that as well.
Seems like
But
he would
yeah,
be. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had a lot of great memories, and thanks Sinbad for that, and know that he is well on his way to getting back to fine form. Um, Damon, before we go on, I want to start out by talking about the projects that you are involved in. First of all, you are coming to Dallas Fort Worth this weekend, and you're going to be at the Laugh Lounge in Uptown Dallas. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's Friday the 20th and Saturday the 21st, two shows each night. And this is an inside outside kind of venue, right?
That's what I was told, and that's why I'm coming. Because I want to, at least we have some fresh air circulating in the facility. And it's tequila and tacos, or tacos and tequila. And with your ticket, you get unlimited tacos.
Oh,
I
okay.
know.
Well, you had me at outside, but now I am one of those who is resistant to doing a lot of things in this time of coronavirus, including I've not been on a plane, which you have. I have not. I've not gone to a comedy event, and unfortunately, I was hoping that I could, get my nerve up to go see Guy Tori when he was here a couple of weeks ago. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. But I'm looking forward to being on the outside and coming to see you and do a elbow bump or something.
We can nod from a distance. I know you
Right?
love me. I love you back. So,
Exactly.
David.
Exactly
Absolutely.
right.
I will not take it personal at all, because I've been very distant, even though I've been moving around selectively. That's why I'm not bringing any merchandise. So I won't be setting up a table and selling shirts or anything like that. I feel bad for all my Chicagoans in Dallas, because they want those Chicago
Yeah.
Be Everywhere shirts. And I
Yeah.
didn't get any done, because the last, I've been off. Basically, my real schedule's been off since March, but
Sure.
we did some things here at Riddles during the summer. And then, of course, Chicago is shut down, and now our governor has actually put us in phase 3 of restrictions, and they have an advisory to
Hmm.
stay home. It's not a stay home order, and it's an advisory. And I was like, you might as well just not even say that, because these Negroes ain't taking your advice. You
Yeah.
gotta, you gotta
Yeah.
give them an order.
Right, right. And at one point, did the mayor, she did declare a shutdown, and then she moved it and hedging her bets a little bit to make it an advisory too for the city?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a 30-day advisory,
Okay.
so much per se, but stern advice, like stay home. They're
Right.
not closing some of the non-essential businesses, so they're trying to keep the economy still working somewhat. Anything that's safe to do. Of course, our schools are off campus, and we just playing it by ear.
Yeah.
Unlike in Dallas, where
Yeah.
I'll be at the taco and
Woo!
tequila joint.
As
So
as I tease our producer Yolanda Starks White, she's living her life, and I think that's the motto of Texas. Actually, even though we're the first to report 1 million cases of coronavirus amongst the 50 states. People are still going out there and real hard-headed people too, in terms of not wearing masks and things like that too. So, but
oh yeah.
I'm not saying that about Yolanda, because she does mask up, and she got all the headgear and stuff. But
But we
it's
know there are a lot of obtuse Texans.
yes, yes, yes. They don't want to wear helmets when they ride motorcycles. They don't want to wear masks to keep other people safe. And they could
And
care
don't want
less.
to hide the guns.
Okay, all right, enough Yolanda. Okay, all right. So, Damon, the other way that people can see you, talk to us about what is it, Urbanflix TV?
Yeah, for those who haven't subscribed yet, Urbanflix TV, go to urbanflixtv.com or wherever you get your smartphone apps or your television apps. It's a black-owned, first of all, black-owned streaming network, and it has a multitude of original films, series, documentaries. And the thing about this, including my series Laugh Tonight, but the thing about it is, you're not just supporting the network, you're supporting filmmakers, independent filmmakers, and all the crew and cast members. I mean, down to the grips. And like on my set, we had a diverse audience. I mean, cast of crew, but it was mostly black people working in the industry. So you're not just supporting entertainment, you're supporting these people and their families. So urbanflixtv.com, Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams, 8 episodes. And it's sit-down interviews as well as stand-up, 3 comedians per episode, $3.99 a month. So I tell people, look, when I'm on my shows live, I say, if you out there, that's $1 a week.
Right.
If $1 a week is gonna put a crimp in your budget, don't even subscribe, because ain't nothing I can say gonna make your ass laugh. you ain't got nothing to laugh about, period. I get it, it's your life, but for $1 a week, if you can't laugh for 4 quarters a week, then just don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the truth. It's like there's nothing. Your funniest stuff, you're absolutely fall down laughing at you stuff is not gonna make them laugh if you can't afford $4 a month.
Hey, I'm saying. But I have something free also for the people that I'm just launching. Actually, I think the first one will drop. It's called the Damon Williams Check-In, where I do interviews, one-on-one interviews with celebrities and comedians and such. So I already have George Wallace. I got Rodney Perry. I pulled up a guy that nobody has seen in years. He played Stinky in the movie House Party. His name is David Edwards.
Wow.
And he was on Real World back in the day. He was on In Living Color. And he is a character. That interview is already hilarious. And then I already have on deck Dion Cole, JB Smooth, and the list goes on. I'm gonna grab Tiffany Haddish. All my friends have agreed to do it. So this is the element of Laugh Tonight on Urbanflix that I didn't get to complete because COVID shut down. All of these people agreed to do just the interview part. They weren't going to do the stand-up. So this is a spinoff for that for me.
That's awesome. I'm proud of you. I am so proud of you. I knew I remember last year when you were working on this to make it happen and talking about doing a lot of the taping and stuff then, and just how
it was such a process.
Yeah,
it's such a process, because I wanted to do it in Chicago, but that got flagged. They didn't want to fly the crew in. And then fortunately we did it where we did it because it looks great. I mean, it's top quality cinematography. I was able to hire my nephew as the executive producer, showrunner. My sister, my son, everybody was on set. If you see the opening credits, I got half my family in the credits, including my wife. She actually was on the payroll too as my personal assistant, and she did everything, stagehand, all type of stuff. Speaking of that, which, baby, can you come get the puppies? They're attacking stuff in the room and it's gonna get loud.
You said they?
Oh, you didn't know about? Oh, yeah, there's a new addition.
I thought I saw a picture of a different.
We had Margot. You know Margot. Well, this is her aunt, actually, Piper. So Piper is little Gizmo.
Are you really? For real?
Yeah, so we had her since she was about 8 weeks old. So now she's catching up with Margot. Because we was running in the park with Margot doing all that running around and stuff. But eventually, I know you saw it, but we got to get her somebody else to run with.
We need a playmate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh. So Piper and Margot.
Yes.
Hey, Juanita.
She will not come on camera because she has been she painted the bedroom.
All right, player. All right.
What I say, I'm like, she's like, just bring the paint in. I brought the paint in. Next thing I know, I'm out of town. The room is painted. I'm like, okay, who been over here? No. You better have some paint in your nails.
And not on your feet. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Damon, we want people to remember about Urbanflix TV and also for folks in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to come out and support you Friday and Saturday night, 2 shows, and we will talk about that again before we leave.
Cool.
on the newsletter talking about things that are going on the heels of the historic campaign and talking about making his administration look like the diversity of America. It looks like Joe Biden is following through on his promises. Now, of course, we have the Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. He, of course, says that he will still nominate a Black woman to fill the first opening of the United States Supreme Court. And now we're talking about the possibility of new names that have come about today. Not possibility, these are happening, including the appointment of Cedric Richmond, the current congressman from New Orleans. And one of the former presidents, former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, he is leaving the United States Congress, and what it appears to be his position, his office, will be that which Valerie Jarrett held in the Obama administration. So that, I mean, that shows you what high regard President-elect Biden has for Cedric Richmond and the kind of access that he is going to have to the Oval Office. And
and that in itself, to have those type of advisors around, people were worried about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities and his age, and there is a reason to be concerned because my mother is Joe Biden's age, and we don't let her drive at night, so I don't think Joe needs to be taking on too much at once. So luckily, we have people of our hue in his ear and that have access and can guide him to some things that he may have been insensitive about in the past, and some things he might not be aware of currently, because you don't get no blacker than a congressman from New Orleans. So
yeah,
that's what it is. That's good news.
That's what's up. And so we congratulate Congressman Richmond. He is a real force. And I don't know if you know him, but he is, like you said, they don't get no blacker than that. A congressman from New Orleans, but also he has been a longtime supporter of the president-elect, and so they have that kind of relationship. He played a big role in the campaign itself, and so now he is being rewarded. And the good thing about this, obviously, is that New Orleans is a Democratic city. And so, however the adjustment is going to be made for his replacement will probably bring about another Democrat. And
absolutely, that was one of my concerns too. I hope he wouldn't, turn that seat red.
Right, exactly. And it's just and that's one concern that they have about some of these people who have been talked about as members of the Biden cabinet, but because their states are run by, let's say, a Republican governor, that would be like Bernie Sanders in Vermont and other states like that. There's concern about who will, fill their seats because that is an appointment made by the governor. Now, here's an interesting thing. I heard this mentioned today, is that amongst the people that they're being considered is the junior senator from the state of Illinois, Tammy, what's
Duckworth.
Tammy? Duckworth, thank you. Tammy Duckworth is said to be being considered for a role in the Biden administration. So if she leaves, that means her Senate seat is open. That means the Democratic governor, J.B. Pritzker, would put somebody in that seat. Remember how this went when Barack Obama started a mess that nobody expected. But shout out to you, Junior Jesse.
Here's a bit of advice to Governor Pritzker: if you want to keep your jet black hair, do it the right way, because Blagojevich, he was in jail 3 weeks and he was stark white. So do the right thing if you want to keep getting your hair done.
That's right. And nobody wants a gazillionaire like Pritzker to see him in jail. I don't care, what kind of clout he's got now.
Exactly.
As you said with the former governor. But here's the thing, and I think they've asked her about this, and I don't think she would do it. But so the question was, if J.B. Pritzker offered, if Tammy Duckworth takes the position within the Biden administration, leaving the Senate space open, would J.B. Pritzker offer that job to Valerie Jarrett? and would she take it? I think she is in more of the Michelle Obama mode that, been there, done that, and been to the closest to the seat of power. And I don't think that she will take it. But God, how great would that be?
That would have been awesome because she has the experience. But after 8 years in that seat and in that
Yeah,
that pool of politics, I wouldn't blame her for saying no. I thought you were going to allude to possibly Michelle Obama taking the job, which would put her in a great position to be a senator for the next ticket in
exactly,
2024.
exactly.
But she don't need to do that. She don't need that little little side job to
Right,
run.
right. And the president's his autobiography, which is out today, by the way, in it he says, or someone had asked him when he was out promoting the book, would you consider a role in the Biden administration? He said, no way. He said, first of all, my wife would leave me if I got back into that. So if he's not considering because she would leave him, I doubt, for all of our wanting her to be the vice president or, perhaps president in the future, I don't see it.
No,
I
they
think
served their time. They've been in that fishbowl.
yeah,
They've been attacked from the right with vicious,
yeah,
horrendous
yeah.
name calling and things of that nature. So why even put yourself into it? You got a couple of books that sold a lot of copies. You got your new house at Martha's Vineyard. I wouldn't. They got a house. Their house better than the White House.
A couple of them better than the White
Right.
House, right? And, and
Exactly.
and I don't know even what they have in Hawaii,
Yeah.
So
Why would you downsize to the White House?
especially following what's in there now. So here's the other thing. Still the lawsuits, going on, and what we talk about in tomorrow's edition of What You Need to Know. A lot of discussion about the recount of votes in the state of Georgia. So be on the lookout for that story coming out tomorrow, and talking about perhaps some meddling being done by South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, of all people, asking about the counting and the signatures, and perhaps being able to throw out some of those absentee ballots. He
Yeah,
asked
and pressuring.
yeah,
Yeah, he's not just suggesting it. They're like they were leaning on the guy,
yeah,
the Secretary of State. And first of all, he needs to keep his mouth shut because he barely stayed in. And if we keep looking, we might find some corruption on his election. For one,
oh
for
yeah,
two, one of the things they were saying about the late ballots that only had the presidential mark,
right,
box mark, and nothing else down ticket. Let me tell you about my ballot. My ballot had the president, and then it had the senator from our area
uh,
and a
uh,
bunch of judges I never heard of. And I'm not retaining judges that I didn't do my research on. I
right,
did look up two of them from their commercials. I looked them up, but the rest of that was blank because I'd rather not vote for somebody than retain them, not
yeah,
knowing their record on different issues. So
yeah.
plus people were trying to get the hell out of there. It's a COVID pandemic. They like, president, goodbye. 1, 2, 3, president, bye. And so for them to say it was corrupt, but then also to say that if the Democrats rigged it, then why did so many of they retain so many seats? Nobody's gonna go in there and rig. They thought it was preposterous that Trump didn't get the votes that some of the senators got.
Right.
I was talking to some trolls, and I was like, no, we didn't like him. Even some of your Republicans voted for your Republican senators, but
Right.
they voted against that dude, man.
That's
So
right.
stop arguing, stand down, let the process be what it has been as 45 other presidents, and let's go sit down somewhere, dude. And now I just heard just moments ago that he had to be talked off the ledge because he was considering a strike against Iran.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
while trying to pull troops out,
And
but
and
you're gonna
and taking his Department of Defense chairman out, right? And so he fired him last week, and now you're thinking about starting a war. Yeah, that'll make you stay. Yeah, that'll keep
yeah,
you.
and we're worried about him conceding, but he can do a lot of damage between now and January.
Yeah.
I think it's time to JFK, but I ain't,
Wow. Wow. But you didn't hear it here.
I mean, to watch the movie, they need to show him the movie, JFK. At the end of the movie, say, "Are we clear?" Okay.
Phew. Okay.
Your next parade could go bad, sir.
Oh yeah, let's have a parade. And did you see that little grouping of the Million Not Million MAGA marchers over the weekend?
Make America sick again. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all they trying to do. But I also saw the Photoshop images of them trying to make it look like a million.
yeah, yeah. Which was just like Inauguration Day,
You know he did that.
2017. Oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
oh
You know
yeah,
he did that.
oh yeah. I'm sure he tried to put Sean Spicer back to work in claiming that there were a million people out there.
I bet that was a million men from the Million Man March that had red
Like
hats put on. They just Photoshop red tops on them.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, MAGA hats, and then you didn't even have to shade their faces or anything
It's a
like that.
Kappa convention. They done took old pictures from a Kappa convention and spliced it in with the MAGAs to get some red in there.
Yeah, that'll save us. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, sure. So we know that yesterday a second vaccine was announced with 94 and a half, let's call it 95% effectiveness. This is being released by Moderna, and it could be with a success rate against the coronavirus. And they say, and Dr. Fauci himself called it truly outstanding.
Mm. But at 94%, so would you still have like COVID 17 and a half? You still got a percentage of COVID? You got a little bit of Rona left in you?
A little bit less COVID than you might
that
otherwise.
much.
Yeah. So their trial was administered to 30,000 people. And of course, they give half of them, they get the dose, and the other half, they get a placebo. So 15,000 given, and only 5 of them, of the 15,000, did develop COVID-19. And none of them became severely ill. So you're right, it would be a less virulent strain of COVID. And a small percentage experienced body aches and headaches of that. And so the question that I've been asking everybody, when the vaccines are beginning with the frontline people, including our teachers, our medical workers, and everybody, that could happen in the second half of December, before year's end. And then it will be expected to go to the high-risk groups, including the healthcare workers, and then the rest of the population by the spring.
So,
as the rest of the population, you gonna get
so
it?
when they do these trials, so they saying only 5, you say only 5 people caught it after taking the vaccine?
Of the 15,000, 5 of them became severely ill.
But where do they get this Rona from? Because for you to not catch Rona, you got to be around Rona and take a vaccine to not catch it. So that means somebody had to have it and they put you in the room with them, or
so maybe they did. Maybe that was a part of the study to see if they came in contact with people, how effective the vaccine would be if they were in direct contact with the coronavirus.
So that says to me that somebody got some little caplets of Rona sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, probably, maybe some, I shouldn't have said that. I was going to say this, but no, I shouldn't. No. Erase. I don't want to think about this.
That's encouraging. Anything that can bring an end to what we're going through right now, if it's done safely, and if they got, I think that all the non-believers and the people thought that Rona, anybody that voted for Trump, y'all should get the vaccine. Y'all should be in the first batch to see what happens with the side effects. We don't know what the side effects are. You could say, okay, this new vaccine cures Corona-19. But COVID-19, but you end up with COVID-21. We don't know what else is out here. So
I
don't want to be I just don't want to be the first in line to take the vaccine. I'm not discouraging people from doing it, but personally, I want them to give out about 1 million doses and we sit back and watch.
And so what about your parents? Because of their age, would you want them to get it to prevent, or would you be okay with waiting for them as well?
I prefer that they do what they're doing, which they're both pretty much quarantining. They're staying away, and even when we visit, we wear the mask, especially since they let out this second batch. So like my dad, he's kind of isolated, except for his hair appointment. Saturday he go to the barber. Sib. He's not gonna let his butters go bad, but he wears his mask and him and Miss Bernice might run to the little it's a place called the Barrel, a little restaurant to get their little meal to go. And other than that, he's in the house. So I've been taking him food and checking them. Even when I go over there, I stay away from, especially when I've been out around people. I try to keep my distance. And like I said, let some other people take it for a little while.
Yeah.
And then let's see what happens. But and that's a joking thing, but it's also like for me, even a flu shot, I've never taken a flu shot. And it's recommended. I mean, we're starting to get to that age where you might want to consider it. But you know, I haven't had a flu that knocked me down so bad that I wanted to take a shot to avoid it. I've had the flu, you know, and I got through it. So it's I guess it's a matter of personal choice. But when it comes to overall public safety, once it's widely available and proven safe, then let's all take the vaccine.
Yeah. Speaking of the virus, a story came out this afternoon that one of the oldest members of the United States Senate is Chuck Grassley, and he is a Republican senator. He's 87. He has just tested positive for COVID-19. After coming in contact with someone, he had isolated himself and now is revealing that he does have COVID-19. He has coronavirus. He's 87.
Wow.
So obviously, first of all, 87 in the Senate. But and I think he's the second oldest person. I think there's somebody older than he in the United States Senate. But anyway.
And that's when it gets to be ridiculous. I mean, because you don't want to be, you know, discriminating against people because of their age, because it varies from case to case. But even my dad, who is a genius, he could have went to college at 14, 15. You know, he's an Air Force pilot. He is a chemist. But I wouldn't want him making decisions for the world right now, you know, because sometimes he'll tell me that same story about the time he was in Brazil and they had the room.
Yes, we all have relatives that tell us about
that room on it. And he's telling me like he just discovered it himself. And I'm like, yeah. So I just listened to it now after the 15th time, you know. So that tells me he don't need to be trying to write laws and pass, you know, policy, because it's a certain dip that you lose in your abilities. So 87 with COVID, he should be forced to retire at this point.
Yeah, you would think so. That should be a rule that they implement when the Democrats take over the Senate. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So David, speaking of your dad, I want to give you and your dad a shout out, because you had a wonderful picture saluting him on Veterans Day. And it was a picture of your dad. You said, as you said, he was a pilot. And I got to tell you, those Williams genes are very strong.
Well, I got to tell you, they are Wilborn genes, but my mama was on some bull.
Okay, it's Wilborn. I forgot your dad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was raised by Williams, but I was conceived by Wilborn. But yeah, I mean, I actually lined that photo up with myself and my son around the same age. I didn't post it yet, but when you see that, it's really uncanny.
I thought so. When I saw it, I was like, my God, it looks like both the Damons. It was just like, you know, somebody just spit y'all out, you know, and just boom, boom, boom. Generation.
Like my mother said, she only carried me, and that's all she had to do with it, because I look so much like him. And that's a interesting situation when you're an outside baby and your face pops up on Comic View and
and they look.
So let me tell you, Sybil. So I had this joke, right? Because, you know, his wife, my father was married when I was conceived, but I had this joke where I did it on the Sky Show, and so I forgot it was going out on the airways. So I'm like, give it to my dad. He been married 50 years. They were like, yeah. I said, but not to my mom. I said, I'm a product of a creep off, and he was driving to work with his wife. Now she already knew, but she didn't need her girlfriends to hear, you know. And anybody that's seen me know I look just like Sonny, because that's his nickname. So yeah, it's just a situation that, you know, the 60s were quite a time. Thank God women didn't have a right to choose. Thank God for them back alley situations and them heavy duty rubber condoms. Wouldn't nobody use them because it was like a rubber thimble. They just say, okay, roll the dice.
And I promise I will at just the right time. Sure. And some of those lines still work on the people I hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that was
Know
so
what line that brings me up to? Makes me think of, Sybil?
What's that?
Well, do you want me to put it? It's been a while.
And people from listening to the Tom Jordan Warren Show who say they miss the show so much, and they're glad to hear all the folks that are a part of the show. And now you just had a whole new group of people just sit up and applaud because we have missed that.
That was our thing.
Oh my God. And you and Super Dave and just having that moment there.
Oh, Lord.
My God. Oh, those great memories. Great. All right, Damon. So on the road, and I talked about this with Dominique yesterday. On the road, your food choices are sometimes a little sketchy, depending on the town that you're in. But you can always find. Normally, you can find a Cracker Barrel, right?
True.
Okay, so here is the story of someone who went into the Cracker Barrel, and now they found a noose-like decoration hanging from the ceiling at a Cracker Barrel in Connecticut. And so now Cracker Barrel, old country store, is apologizing to the customers for the noose-like decoration. They said that a cord from an antique electric soldering iron with an original wrap cord should have been noticed before it was even displayed and then removed. It was up there for a while, like years. According to some reports, this was spotted by customers on November 7th. They posted the photos, videos on social media, and they say that they have apologized to the customer who pointed out the item and apologized on Twitter.
See, Cracker Barrel already been through the ringer with us once, right?
For
discriminatory hiring practices and things of that nature. But in this story, it was in Connecticut, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, because they're more of a progressive people out there. Now, if I was in Georgia or down in Florida, I'd have a bigger problem with the Cracker Barrel. So I'm just saying this so I can keep getting them potato casserole. Because I don't want nobody to see me at Cracker Barrel be like, you said, no, I didn't. I said, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They did apologize. But yeah, just like the thing with the black NASCAR driver, it turns out that was not what it was thought to be. So, I think we're hypersensitive, and as we should be, of all things that are racial. But sometimes, we have to allow for errors and mistakes, and even mistakes in judgment if somebody noticed it and didn't change it and didn't see that knot was up there. So, I'm going to give Cracker Barrel a pass on this one. Only because yeah, I'm trying to hit that casserole. I don't know what it's called, Uncle Jimmy's, Uncle something's, but it comes with this little cheese casserole potato thing on the side, and I might be planning to go there in Dallas. I'll tell you what, I'll take a week off of all Cracker Barrel. I'm a boycott through the month of December. No Cracker Barrel. I'm gonna go on Waffle House where they hide your racism.
Where they did that at? So Dominique said she didn't want to give up the pancakes because the pancakes, that's really that's her lane, the breakfast foods.
It's all about the breakfast. And the pancakes, not only they give you the nice pancakes, they heat up the syrup, Sybil. They microwave they give you your own little bottle of syrup, and it's warm when it comes out. Come on now. With warm syrup and cheese casserole, the waitress might be able to say, look here, Ninja. They could put me in the colored section for the warm syrup.
And the potato casserole.
The casserole.
You are ill. You are truly.
I am.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so every day on the newsletter, one of the stories in the newsletter is our HBCU Corner. And this is great news for our friend, Dr. Glenda Glover, who is the president of Tennessee State. NBA player Robert Covington, on a mission to empower student athletes at his alma mater. The Houston Rockets forward recently donated $1 million to Tennessee State University.
Very nice.
go towards the creation of a new practice facility for the HBCU's women's and men's basketball programs. And the new building, which will be dubbed the Covington Pavilion, will house
Wow.
courts, locker rooms, and offices for faculty. And they're expected to break ground next year. And the institution plans on enlisting a Black-owned firm to construct the facility. How great is that?
That is fantastic. And let's hope it's a reputable, competent, timely Black owned. I want Brother Covington to see this building completed.
Okay, yeah,
'Cause,
and
yeah,
absolutely.
don't let your cousins build it.
Yeah. No, that would not be a part of Dr. Glover's legacy. She'll make sure everything is on the up and up.
Good.
He said that it's not just for me; it's for everyone else to come behind me to have a facility of that caliber. It'll take the kids to a new mindset because they'll be able to focus in and within their own environment. How great is that?
That
Really,
is awesome.
really nice. Yeah.
And hopefully they'll, I think more young men need to learn vocational skills. I wish they could use that as a teaching project and grab some people from the Nashville and
Mhm.
Tennessee area to work alongside them. Because a lot of times in those contractors, you get out there and the
Yeah.
subcontractors don't have Black employees, but they can have a lot of apprenticeships and internships.
Right.
I'm really advocating for that. I think we need to return to vocational training in our schools from a young age so that when kids come out of high school, they're employable, that they can do something that gets them paid. Plumbing, electrician,
Yeah.
drywall painters, roofers, because to be honest, all of the Mexican workers are taking these jobs, and any place you call, when they show up, the workers are Mexican. So we need to teach our young Black men this as well. So not only sports, but let's advocate for some vocational training and get some internships on that project. Hopefully that will happen as well.
So we talked about this. I think we talked about it in reference to Chicago and Washburn Trade School. Was it
Right.
Washburn Vocational? That is no longer a part of it, and I don't think you can say it enough. I really don't. I think that, and that's a great idea to get with these schools, high school programs, and some of these students, so that they can be there and learning alongside these professionals in their trade, and can really take them to a whole new level and create a life for them after they
Absolutely.
finish high school. Yeah.
Because a lot of course, we want to educate our kids for tech and to be, Black IT, but
Mhm.
and with everything going virtual, there'll be less, brick and mortar businesses. But
Yeah.
I know for a fact that plumbers and that make a lot of money because they made a lot off me.
Okay.
Um, and I tried to do it myself first,
And
but
see, and that's where they made even more money.
absolutely. Yeah, but plumbers, electricians, drywalling, construction sites, I think that's very vital because if you look at the unions that control that, we're not in them and we're not represented. And even when you see road construction, so if we do this big build for solar energy and solar jobs, I think our kids need to know how to work with their hands again, because
Yeah.
in order for them to refit all these buildings like Joe Biden is talking about, that's going to take skilled
Yeah.
laborers, not
Yep.
just tech. So if you don't want to be a scientist, you might be able to hang some drywall and feed your family.
Damon, that could be a good legacy for you, is to follow through on something like that in different areas and encourage that, because I watch a lot of those DIY shows on HGTV and what
Yeah,
have you,
me
right?
too.
And so, when you're watching it, I'm always looking at the people who are there working. And like one of the shows, Flip or Flop, their biggest assistant is a Hispanic man. A lot of those shows have a lot of Hispanics and a lot of white guys. And only in, I want to say it's Love It or List It, where I'm starting to see more Black people. And that's only because they moved their location to North Carolina, and
Mm.
seeing Black employees there, doing a lot of that work and drywalling and tile work and things
It's
like that.
These are crafts and trades that that are useful for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And like you say, I watch those shows too. And the main contractor is always the white guy. He comes in, he said, "I can knock it out for this price," and then
Hmm.
his crew comes in, and you don't see one Black person in that crew. And I
Yeah.
think and it's lucrative. those prices and those quotes that they give those people, they make money. So
good money.
I'm definitely going to try to push that up the chain and get that advocated more so here in the Chicago curriculum, as well as with all my platforms. I think it needs to be addressed.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Whatever you need from me, I'm absolutely with you. I love that idea. People are asking for an update on your vote. Now, are they saying vote or boat?
I voted, but I definitely didn't vote it this year. Because, let me tell you, Sybil, you know, with the circumstances and not working and all that, you know, voting is not cheap. So I wasn't really looking forward to doing it this year because I didn't think it was going to happen. But it was the perfect summer. First of all, the weather was amazing in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then I was home because I was off. And when I was working, I was here at Riddle. So it was a perfect time. But he literally had the same script. And I didn't even start calling until, you know, mid-July. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, 2 more weeks, you'll be good. You can get your mama, tell her, get a basket ready. You can start packing up your snacks now because you're going to be good. I fix everything. When I tell you everything, your boat going to be just like brand new, Damon. I haven't even seen my boat. In fact, somebody said they saw it in a vacant lot on 147th and Halsted at one point. And I swear I'm not making that up, Sybil. I got a call like, man, did you sell your boat? I'm like, no. He said, well, it's on 147th in the parking lot. So when it got to like September, one time I called him from stage and I had him on speakerphone, but he heard the people laughing like, now you're joking on me. This ain't funny. So he snapped out. Like, you got a lot. I cursed him out like, you got a lot of damn nerve, brother T. You know he's a pastor or something like that. He thinks he's a reverend. And you call his numbers, welcome to Christ One Auto Body and Repair, where we get it done right the first time. I'm like, you're a damn lie, man. So I didn't, after doing that in September, I knew he wasn't going to get it ready by October. And it cost to store the boat over the winter. So I didn't even call him no more. That's his boat until spring. And when I see the conditions in, that's when I'll decide what I'm going to do about it. But no, yes, my boat is still took a loose.
That's it. One time David called and we recorded the man's outgoing message. And I think he had like a Bible scripture on there. And
he does. That's how he gets you. Because you be like, this good Christian man ain't going to lie to me again. You a lie. Yeah, because he's like, it's like, and remember, no weapon formed against yourself. Like it says in the book of Isaiah. No weapon formed against yourself prosper. Now, what the hell that got to do with repair? The weapons formed against you is people after you for their damn boats, brother T. Christ One Auto and Harvey. Don't take your tricycle to brother T.
Because it'll get took loose. And
it'll be took loose, it'll be a bicycle. Don't do it.
Oh God, David. Well,
views expressed by me on Sybil Show are those of me and mine. Do not try to sue brother T. But like it says in the book of Isaiah, no weapon formed against Sybil shall prosper. And call Christ One Auto Body Part and Repair, where we get it done right the first time. Man, I should call him now. Ask him, where's my boat? And he'd be like, you know what? You come get it Saturday. It'll be ready for you Saturday.
and you can take it out in the first snow.
Exactly. You don't even got to worry about it floating or not because it can sit right on the top of the ice. I made sure that now it has a little leak, but that ain't no problem because the water is solid. Boy, who asked that question? Damn it.
Brother T.
I'm back. Oh, Lord, you brought back so many terrible memories. So many missed sunsets.
Oh man. Oh, and I don't know anyone that loves the water and being on a boat the way Damon does. I just and that was always just watching you. Like you will go to when you go to different cities for your comedy work, you will seek out those rivers and areas where people go boating, don't you?
And that's a suggestion I give everybody. When you go to any town, if you can't find something to do, find a marina. It's always cracking at the marina. It's always a vacation atmosphere. But once I don't know where I was. I might have been around Buffalo somewhere. I'm I'll be everywhere, so I can't think of it. But it was lily white. You ever been around so many white people, you start racial profiling yourself? I was like, now you know damn well you ain't got no business. What brings you here? I'm talking to me. So what brings you to the marina? But you know what I did? I sat there, I had on my little boating shirt with the little anchors on it, and I just blended in like, yes, I too am a boater. So after a while, after the few stares, they got kind of friendly, but I didn't stay for dark.
You're like Mr. Howell, oh, loving. And,
right. Yeah, but people, find a marina. It's always lit at the marina. Go to a marina. You'll find some fun, some music, some good drinks and food. Always at the water. But if it's not a marina, I go, like you say, the rivers. Anywhere it's water is placid. Just like we had 70-degree weather here. The last 70-degree day was last week. And I just went up north. And they have a dog beach on Lake. Yeah, and I happen to be over there, and it's crazy because you don't have to pay to park in that area. It's like a best kept secret, and people are out there with the little dogs. And I had my book I was reading because I'm trying to finish this before the show. Brother Coach, can you see? Yes.
Yes.
So I was sitting out there. They didn't know what to make of me either, Sybil, because I was black and I'm out there all placid, but I was still hoodied up. I was out there and reading.
Right.
They didn't know what to make of me out there as they were jogging. They're like, that's interesting. I think one lady wanted to come rub me like a leprechaun. She thought I was a lucky charm.
And folks up north will say, you're not from around here, are you?
Are you? I tell you, I racial profiled myself at that marina once.
Oh, that is so funny. That is great stuff. And KP on YouTube was one of those, amongst others, who asked about Took-a-Loose boat.
Thanks for checking. I'm going to do a GoFundMe page. It's not to fix my boat. It's for bail money when I shoot the shit out of Brother T.
David, you can't put all your plans out there like this. This is premeditation, brother. You know that.
I'm not going to kill him.
No, with kindness.
I'll take an attempt at a battery, or I'll plead to an assault. I have plenty of documented evidence of him causing me to have momentarily insanity, temporary insanity.
Yep, that's true. That is true. You got a lot of tape on that. A lot of tape.
Oh, you know what else? While I'm here, this Friday I'm going to be on Judge Mathis. So make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's airing this Friday from the time the comedian sued me for reciting his meme on the Tom Jordan Morning Show.
Yes. Okay. So check your local listings for Judge Mathis on Friday. And Yolanda, show me something. Friday the 20th?
Yep.
Okay. So Friday the 20th, you're going to be TV and on stage on Friday. On the TV on Judge Mathis. So check your local listings for that. And also you will be on stage. We'll see you Friday and Saturday nights in Dallas. And that is at the Laugh Lounge Uptown. And it's TNT, tacos and tequila. And so with the ticket, all the tacos you can eat.
That's what they said. Unlimited tacos.
Okay. All right. And the shows are at 8 and 10, and it's an inside-outside venue. So that will be great for those of us who are still a little trepidatious about going on the inside.
As everyone should be.
Yeah. And then, of course, don't forget to go to your app and purchase a subscription to Urbanflix TV. And that's where you can see Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams. And Damon, the interviews that you've done with your comedian friends, that's also on Urbanflix?
Well, each comedian on Laugh Tonight gets an interview, but the additional interviews will be on YouTube, and that's GBTV on YouTube. But I'll come back when it's time for that. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. Okay. Come get a ticket, watch me get sued, and subscribe to Urbanflix TV.
Okay, so Yolanda is just handing me this, and this is news from CNN. Donald Trump has fired the Department of Homeland Security official who publicly rejected his claims of widespread voter fraud.
He's melting down.
Yeah. It's going
to be pitiful, but also beautiful to watch. Pretty soon he's going to be in the White House by himself. He got the whole Secret Service sick.
Yeah.
He's firing everybody in his campaign, all his cabinet. They're all getting sick. and now he's firing people. So this country is like really we're on autopilot right now. So, but this goes to prove that the president don't really run the country. Because if this fool was really running the country, we'd be in bigger trouble than we are right now. But we got to keep an eye on this as it develops, because he's going to melt down all these firings, and so this is a narcissist having his way at this point.
You know what? It reminds me of a big life-size game of is it a Django? Oh, not Django.
Jenga.
Yeah, Jenga. Yeah. Right? So you keep seeing these blocks being pulled out, and eventually it's all going to cave if we don't get in there. If the Biden administration doesn't get in there to halt and to stem the blood loss, or this country is just going to be just.
And it's sad because he's still allowed to tweet this nonsense, and now all of the Trumpsters are saying that Twitter is biased because only their stuff gets the disclaimer. I'm like, because that stuff is the lie.
Right.
You have any friends that you know of that have voted for Trump that you've had conversations with?
Yes.
They are still convinced, and they believe now they even hate Fox News. They're turning on Fox News.
Oh yeah.
So now that's one guy put up that the CNN was allegedly failing and supposed to be for sale, and he was saying by conspiracy that Bezos was thinking of buying it, and he was like, we need to buy it now so we can control the narrative. I'm like, first of all, you don't control the narrative of an unbiased journalist. So what are you saying, man? These people, it's scary. It's a mess. So hopefully he comes to the light, before January and says, hey, stand down and stand by. But I concede this time, but I'll be back roaring in 2024. But before then, he gets his lifestyle back and realizes that he don't want that job anyway. Yeah. I know he definitely don't want Secret Service details for the rest of his life, because now he can't go and have his golden showers in hotels and such, but that's just rumor as well. Anyway, let's not close on Trump note, because we'll all be upset. And this is such a wonderful thing. I appreciate you having me here. So I don't want to close on the idiot.
Well, I can't wait to see you this weekend on Friday or Saturday night, and to to definitely to laugh with all the rest of the group, because you are one of the funniest around. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. And if you don't make it, I'll understand. Just so you know.
Okay.
If you because you wanted to go see Gab, but you didn't, so whatever happens, happens. My money's guaranteed. Don't tell him I said that, but I want anybody that feels comfortable and safe coming out fine. And if not, it's love. I'll record part of my set and send it to you if you don't make it.
Okay. All right. Okay. But I'm going to try to do the outside thing. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
All right, darling. I love you. My love to Juanita and to Piper, as well as Margot.
Thank you. And thanks, Yolanda and Chica and everybody on your staff and your team for having me back. And anytime y'all need me, I'm still behind the glass. Boom.
That's right. That's exactly the way we left them on the Joiner show. And let's give a shout out to Jada as well, because she's always in there doing the darn thing and still grinding. All right. Thank you, my friend. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Myra J. and Stephen Hill will be with us. And then Thursday, we'll have an update on what's going on in Georgia with, of course, George Wallace, as well as president of the National Bar Association, C.K. Hoffler, and attorney Barbara Arnwine talking to us about Georgia. Thanks so much, everybody. Please be careful. Don't forget, mask up, wash your hands, and be safe.